Our story starts in Africa, the place where humans first appeared. A super long time ago, our ancient relatives started walking around in the Great Rift Valley. This huge area, going all the way from Ethiopia to Mozambique, is where humans began. This is where early humans grew up and lived. Early humans just tried to stay alive. They moved around a lot, looking for food and water. They followed animal groups across the grassy lands and learned how to live in different places. These early travels were super important for us to live. They helped us spread out all over Africa. One really important time people moved in Africa was the Bantu expansion. About 2,000 years ago, a group of people in West Central Africa started traveling. These people, who spoke Bantu languages, were good at farming and working with metal. As they moved, they brought their skills and knowledge with them. The Bantu expansion changed Africa a lot. It spread farming, metalworking, and new languages all over. The Bantu people were really good at living in new places and making new communities. The Nile River, the longest river in the whole world, has always helped people in Africa live. For a really long time, people have traveled along its sides, looking for good land to farm and new things to do. The Nile gave them water for their farms, ways to travel by boat, and food to eat. The ancient Egyptians, a really smart group of people, lived along the Nile. They were great at using the river water for farms and built awesome cities and big statues. The Nile was a huge part of their lives. Section 5, North Africa, a crossroads of cultures. North Africa, next to the Mediterranean Sea and the giant Sahara Desert, has always been a place where different people meet. For many years, people from all over the world have come here. Traders, explorers, and conquerors have all left their mark on North Africa. The Berbers, who have always lived in North Africa, have seen all these different people come and go. They've met Phoenicians, Romans, Arabs, and Europeans, changing a little bit each time, but still keeping their own special ways. Section 6, West Africa, Empires of Gold and Trade. West Africa has a really cool history of powerful kingdoms. These kingdoms, like Ghana, Mali, and Songhai, were in charge of huge trade routes across the Sahara Desert. They traded gold, salt, ivory, and sadly enslaved people. These trade routes weren't just for buying and selling, they also spread new ideas and cultures. For example, the Muslim religion came to West Africa through these routes, changing people's beliefs, laws, and art. Section 7, East Africa, a coastline transformed. The East African coast has a long and interesting history of trade and different cultures mixing. For a long time, Arab traders sailed across the Indian Ocean, bringing new things, ideas, and religions. They built trading posts along the coast, connecting East Africa to the rest of the world. This led to the Swahili culture, a mix of African and Arab ways. Swahili, a Bantu language with some Arabic words, became the language people used for trading and talking to other countries along the coast. Section 8. The enduring legacy migration's impact. People moving around in Africa has changed the continent's history and who they are. It's why there are so many different cultures, languages, and traditions in Africa today. From the music and dancing to the food and clothes, African cultures show how people have moved and mixed together. Learning about these migrations helps us understand how amazing and complicated Africa is. Section 9. Conclusion, Africa on the move. Africa is always changing. From the first humans walking around a long time ago to people today looking for better lives, moving is a big part of Africa's story. These trips, because people wanted to live, be successful, and be free, continue to change Africa. They connect the past to now and show how strong and adaptable humans are.